John Albert Pudas arrived in Port Arthur in 1900 as an infant, and it was not long before he had adopted the games of his new homeland. Playing his first organized hockey with the Knox Church team, he made his way up through the junior and senior ranks with a variety of teams. Described at the time as having a tremendously hard and accurate shot from the wing, he proved this fact in a game in January of 1920. Scoring 3 goals in the first period and 3 in a row at the 16, 17, and 18-minute marks of the third, he tied up the game, having scored all but one of his team's 7 goals in regulation time. Carrying out his hockey abilities and style, the local paper of the day noted that in addition to his great playing abilities, above all else, he was a gentleman on the ice. Donning the green, white, and red of the powerful Port Arthur Senior Hockey Club, Putty, as he came to be known, helped Port Arthur claim the region's first ever Allen Cup title as Senior Hockey Champions of Canada in 1925, becoming instant hometown heroes. The following season, the team repeated their victory, becoming the first team from the region ever to win back-to-back national sports crowns. Turning professional the following season, he spent time in the East when the big league was in its infancy, playing with the Toronto St. Pats in 1926-27, shortly before they became the Toronto Maple Leafs, and entered the history books as the first Finnish-born player in the NHL. Returning home, he turned his talents to coaching, the first of his teams to advance to a national final were the 1927-28 Port Arthur ladies hockey team, who were Western Canadian champions that season. Taking over the helm of the Port Arthur seniors in 1930, he led them to the 1935 Allen Cup finals in Halifax, falling just 1 game short of having a 3rd national title to his credit. With Halifax unable to ice a team for the 1936 Olympics, the CAHA looked to Albert and the newly named Port Arthur Bearcats to represent the nation. Leading a team comprised of players from Port Arthur and Eastern Canada, the team boarded the Duchess of Atholl in Halifax and set sail for their week-long journey to attend the 4th Winter Olympic Games in Garmisch-Partenkirchen, Germany. Winning their first matches quite handily, the Canadian team were on a track to bring home the gold, when what can only be described as one of the most controversial scoring systems ever introduced in Olympic competition dashed their hopes. Once the smoke had finally cleared, Albert and the team emerged as Olympic silver medalists. Although it may not have been the gold they had hoped for, it was the only medal won by Canada at those Olympic Games, and a proud moment for Albert and his fans back home. It was also during those games that Albert claimed another first. Asked to serve as an official for 3 of the Olympic hockey matches, he became the first referee from Northwestern, Ontario, and one of, if not the first, from Canada to ever officiate an Olympic hockey game. Returning home, Albert coached some junior teams for a while, but devoted most of his time to officiating. Considered a fine official not only locally but nationally, he was called upon to handle Allen Cup Series finals on occasion. In addition to making calls on the ice, Albert could also be found calling balls and strikes in senior baseball action as a respected umpire and coach of local teams. An excellent golfer, he claimed the Strathcona Golf Club title during the 1930s and served as the organization's president. During the 1950s and 60s, he also volunteered his time to the Thunder Bay District Fish and Game Association, serving as their treasurer. This sports pioneer, whose contributions to our region's sports heritage spanned 5 decades, passed away in 1976, leaving behind a legacy of excellence as an athlete, builder, and volunteer.